Hi everybody, Big Red here from BoLS Souls, and today we are going to show you one of the, as you can see, it's a very tiny little game. This is Ogre. This is from Steve Jackson Games. This is the Designer's Edition. As you can see, it is monstrous. Ogre is, for a lot of you who don't know, this is kind of one of the granddaddies of kind of war games, board games, kind of whatever you want to call it. It was originally came out in 1977, was the first one back in the day when you used to go into game stores and they were full of all kinds of creepy people, and Ralpartha and Grenadier and companies that don't exist anymore, and all the games came in little tiny plastic bags. So Ogre is kind of one of the old classic games. It's played on a hex board. It's a big giant mega tank one side, the other side has a big giant army. Your tank is trying to make its way across the board to your command post and blow it up, and you have to stop it. And it's actually really fun, and is really well balanced. Ogre, as I said, it started off in 1977 as a little tiny game that came in a Ziploc bag this big, and it slowly over the years it grew as Steve Jackson Games grew, and they came out with more and more add-ons for it, and they would come out with new types of ogres and new types of units, and you get little new bigger Ziploc bags with more counters, and then eventually it probably some of you guys remember, and then about 10 years afterwards, in the 80s, it started to come in actual box sets, in kind of normal boxes with with fancy boards and whatever. So this Ogre Designer's Edition, this is a $99 product, and this was one of the big games that was one of the very first huge successful Kickstarters that kind of got all the crazy wargaming Kickstarters going. Was Steve Jackson Games said, hey, we want to do this just crazy huge, this is the super edition of Ogre that has everything we could possibly do. Everything's oversized, everything is cardstock, and it's just going to be, every possible thing that in any way relates to Ogre in the Ogre universe we're going to do in this one giant monster edition. And they put it up on Kickstarter and said, who knows what's going to happen. And I believe they got over $1 million. And it was like one of the first ones that just exploded, and everyone just said, oh my gosh, that's crazy. So this is available now. It actually, the Kickstarter, funded, and they actually got everything, and clearly, they've actually gotten the game produced, and so here it is. It's $99. All the Kickstarter people obviously already paid for theirs, and they got theirs. But there's just a couple things before we'll talk about it a little bit. I'll show you the box, and then we're going to cut and come back into it and actually show you the interior and all the craziness there. But just kind of one of the things, as you can see, it's huge. It's crazy. This is 28 pounds of paper. It is 28 pounds. I mean, this is not light. As you can see, it's not only that big. I'm going to show you the side of the box. Looks, game board. It's just giant. I'm going to show you the back of it. In fact, it has so much stuff in it. If you look at the side, this is extra sheet. This right here, there's an extra ½ inch of extra sheets and counters and things that didn't even fit in the box, that they had to strap to the outside of it when they shrink wrapped it. There's so much stuff on it. It's pretty crazy. Kind of the last thing I want to show you, here's kind of the general back of it, but probably my favorite thing about this product entirely is, in my decades of being in the gaming industry, I don't think I have ever seen a gaming product that includes the "For Your Safety, Team Lift, this should only be moved by 2 people" logo, which is, I gotta say, they are not messing around with this. And we'll be back in just a second, and we're gonna cut this thing open. And here we are again. I just wanted to show you that there's the Team Lift For Your Safety. Don't lift Ogre without 2 people. I thought you guys would enjoy that. And there's the side, as you can see, with not only the box itself, but all the extra just layers and layers and layers of different counters and things that are strapped to the outside of it, because it didn't actually fit in the box when it was produced. So there you go, Ogre, 28 pounds. Now we're going to take a look at the inside. Okay, we are back, everybody, and we have opened it up. So we're going to take a look. We're going to take a look at what is actually in the Designer's Edition of Ogre. So first of all, let me just kind of give you the overall the major points of it, and then we will go into the specifics. So we have first of all, for all you people who are big Ogre fans, you may remember this guy. This is the old Ogre Schematics poster. This has been around since the 1980s. And here it is again. It looks all sexy too. For all you Ogre fans, you can get the big schematics of how Mark V really works. I remember getting one of these when I was into Ogre, like back during the days of Car Wars, just for those of you who remember that. We have the rulebook, of course. You get, it's an all-new rulebook. It's basically, all of the possible rules for everything that was ever invented in the Ogre universe. It's all been combined and collated and redone, and it's full color, and it looks really sexy, and it all has, all of the new counters and miniatures. I don't even really know what you would call them, from the new set. You get your dice. Over here will look really cool. Over here, I'll show you the actual box itself. The reason why a lot of those things had to be strapped to the outside of the box is that everything will fit once it's all assembled, but they had to strap all those extra counters and things to the outside of the box because most of the box is designed to be this whole kind of cool carrying case thing. That here on the bottom, you see you have these trays, and these trays actually have words printed on the bottom of them for all of the different tokens that you use for everything in the game. All fit into their trays, and then there's these 4 big areas here, and these are for the maps. So let's take a look at this. So you got 8 of these, and these are really large, by the way. I mean, look at this. Like, you want to see why this thing weighs 28 pounds? That's one of the maps. They all kind of slot together and work, and there's roads and railroad tracks and things. And this is really, really thick. This is like a Monopoly board. These are thick boards, and there's 8 of those that, as you can see, kind of fit into these areas here. So you put all your counters in, and then you drop all your maps in on top of them. So you get 8 of those. So you can build, really small Ogre games. You can build, if these things all go together, it's going to be like a 6x5. I mean, it's going to be a huge table worth of maps. You also get 2 of the classic. Let me move these out of the way so you can see them. This was the old classic Ogre Map. So if you just want to play a good old kind of classic game of Ogre, you use these 2. They go together. As so, Ogre starts somewhere on this side. He's trying to get over to that side to win the game, and so you get 2 of kind of the classic default maps, and then the 8 new ones. Kind of going over here, you get the Ogre Garage, as is what they are calling it, Steve Jackson Games, so this is going to live over that. So what this is actually really, really cool. This is, as you can see, you get 2 of these trays. They're all plastic and sealed. And they have all these little compartments in them, and every compartment is labeled and has silhouettes to have how all your pieces go. And these are all the vehicles. So this is, for all you people who are big giant Ogre fanatics, this is your full Ogre Garage. As you can see here, we have space, say on this one, you have 3 mobile command posts go there. You get Mark 3B Ogres, you get Mark 3s, you get Mark 5s, you get normal command posts, you get Mark 4s. Over here you get fencers, strong points. You get spaces to, once you've assembled all of these models, they all fit in here. You have a place for everything. So it's going to be a really, really slick, kind of a sexy presentation. And then these things are going to go. They're just going to fit. Your Ogre Garage is going to fit, in there over those things. As such, when you're done. So the next question is, what exactly are those things? And what we have is this. These are all of the actual. You also have 2 dice. We have also on super, super thick cardstock. These are the pieces. These are all the pieces. There's 4 sets of these for all the playing pieces in the game. So as you can see, it's pretty weird. It's really, really cool. You get tons of different ogres of various marks. In different colors, so you can play them. You can do team games, you can do versus games, you can do whatever. Here's a whole set in monochrome. You get Combine, which is one of the big military states in the world of ogres, so they have all the red ones. You get Pan-European, who's blue, and you just get tons of these things. So and then on the back sides of them, you get enough sheets to build all of those things, not only the ogres, but command towers and all kinds of things. And then if you look on each of these, shrink wrap pack has just sheets and sheets of terrain overlays also. So for instance, on these things here that we saw, you can also
cut a lot of these overlays out and use them to go on top of these maps so that you can really customize your maps a lot. So we're probably going to, these things look like they, as you can see here, they're all flat, they're 2D, they have little, slot and groove construction. These things probably go together very, very similarly as the little ships from, say, Pirates of the Crimson Coast, things like that. And we're going to basically, we're probably going to assemble some of these and set them up for you and kind of show them on the board so you can get an idea of what we're talking about. And there we go. And we're back. We have survived the incredible ordeal of the 90 minutes of assembling Ogre with, I don't even know how many tokens that was, but it was a lot. So here's the Ogre Garage that we wanted to show you. So we got, here's one plastic tray that is just totally full of all the different marks of ogres and command posts from both sides, every mark of ogre that you'd ever want. You get lots of those. There's 2 trays of those. So those are all, as you can see, they're kind of, let me just kind of hold one of these up so you can see it. It's, you can see it's cardstock, and they all kind of slide together to make these little kind of 3D tokens. We have, all the stuff here. Here's an actual board with some of the things set up on it, so you get a good idea of what it's going to look like. And then the box that we can zoom in on the box, and you can just see this box is just absolutely just jam-packed. I don't want to tip it too much. This is just jam-packed full of tokens for everything in the world. There's units and terrain overlays and the dice, and there's also flat versions of the Ogre. If you don't want to use the 3D ones, if you just want to use flat ones, you get those too. So all this stuff, it is the Ogre Designer's Edition, and that is from Steve Jackson Games. It is $99, and it is available now. And thanks for checking it out, guys. We will talk to you later.